You're with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, right here on SABC 3. Now, here's a fact. No one could have ever predicted the entire world coming to a complete standstill due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With the strict lockdown conditions that were obviously implemented and practically everything coming to a halt, including tourism and non-essential travel. It's been an incredibly uncertain time for us as South Africans, and that we know.
Absolutely. However, with strict measures still in place, the lockdown levels have been eased, and with the main aim to get our economy up and running again. And this morning we talked to CEO of Eastern Cape Parks and Tourism Agency, Vuyani Dayimani, today all about the wonderful attractions the Eastern Cape has to offer and the protocols that have been put in place so that visitors can once again enjoy all that the province has to offer. A very good morning to you, Mr. Dayimani, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to the viewers at home.
So, how has the COVID-19 pandemic affected tourism in your part of the country, the Eastern Cape?
Look, it has been disastrous all over, and if you talk to the contribution to the gross domestic product of the Eastern Cape, tourism contributes 18% of that. That is about 67 billion lost within the quarter. Job creation in the province, direct jobs that are related to tourism in the value chain, 104,000. Out of that, 43,000 is at risk. So that gives you the picture. It has been a very bad day in the office from a tourism point of view over the past 3 months.
Unfortunately, a dark time that we all had to go through as a country in order to try to flatten the curve and gain control of the situation. And now we can look forward to perhaps a silver lining in the cloud where, with the easing of certain restrictions, people can maybe begin to travel here and there. So talk to us about the measures that have been put in place to ensure that visitors are safe.
With the sector as a whole, we have set up what we refer to as our recovery plan that has got 5 pillars. The critical aspect of those pillars is that you just want to save the sector. You want to be able to support the sector in terms of the protocols that you have to put in place. But you want to also take the opportunity to refine our strategy to have a refined product offering in terms of the visitor experience. But also the other aspect, it was to push us to 4IR in terms of how smart we can market the province. So those 5 pillars are really what has been the key outcome of the consultation and the engagement that we had with the sector. And we're looking forward to the implementation of the recovery plan.
And Mr. Dayimani, with the lockdown and obviously the strict social distancing measures that we've seen that have been implemented, how has this affected the Eastern Cape's events calendar or your social calendar?
At this time of the year, I mean, we'll be talking about the National Arts Festival now as being one. There's been an innovation in terms of doing it online, and it is still available. People could still go through that. The viewing is still available up until the 31st of July. But all others, I mean, you would be expecting the drive into into Grahamstown at this time of the year for the 10 days. That hasn't happened. Linked to that is the Capewood Festival that has also been canned. But, there's been innovation in the fact that Arts Festival could still go ahead online. But also, there's also another opportunity that has come up. I mean, you're talking about the Expo from Business. They're also going the online route in terms of positioning their products insofar as consolidating the investment into the economy of the province. So the online platform has been the innovation, but the impact of the movement of the people insofar as the events calendar, there's been an impact on that.
So with that in mind, Mr. Dayimani, what are some of the Eastern Cape's most popular tourist attractions that one could visit post-COVID or maybe even post-current regulations or restrictions being eased?
We have a simple guide to the tourist, what we refer to as your top 100 things to do in the province. It's available, but just an appetizer, if you want a Christmas in July, the mountain range that you have from Drakensberg, which is the beginning of the mountain range, is available inland. If you drive around, again, the Karoo, as you do the drive, as you view the animals, the popular succulent taste of the lamb in the Karoo is an offering not to miss from him. If you're still an adrenaline junkie, the Tsensekamo provides you with that offering from Bajijambi to the rest, to zip liners and that. Going down again, the perfect way from the surfing point of view, JB, is available. The hidden treasure of our struggle and the heritage hidden in the right location museum in Port Elizabeth, Suncoast Shrine, again, that is your Port Alfred Range. That's where you can do a bit of safari and a bit of coastline and beach experience in one. Again, here in East London, Wool Coast, a perfect surfing spot. It's a hidden gem, those who didn't know about it. But the rolling mountains of the Wild Coast are a welcoming attraction for people who have not been there. The history of the wrecks, the shipwrecks of the country, the settlers of the yesteryear, it's hidden in there. But if you want to see again the waterfalls falling directly into the ocean, you can only view that from the Wild Coast. But importantly, as you go exploring all this experience in the Eastern Cape, the warmth and the hospitality of the people of the Eastern Cape to tell you directly, unfiltered, authentic experiences and stories about the wonderful offering that the destination offers is the gem to keep, and it is something to behold all the time.
Absolutely, a warmth and a comfort that you will certainly need after leaping off the highest bungee bridge in the Southern Hemisphere at Blowgrounds. Mr. Dayimani, have you taken a chance at that? Have you jumped off that bungee bridge?
I can show you on your Instagram page. I've done that. I've got the certificate. I'm enjoying it. I will do it again.
Well, you know what? We appreciate all of the hard work that you and your team members are putting in to make sure that you preserve all of those fantastic things to experience so that when we are allowed to enjoy the incredible Eastern Cape experiences again, we're there and we're ready to take them on. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to the viewers at home.
And that was Mr. Vuyani Dayimani, of course, the CEO of the Eastern Cape Parks and Tourism Agency, but also a very adventurous man, as it seems, Katlego.
Listen, it's all over Instagram, it's on social media, the proof is there.
So, well, we know that when the borders do open internally here in South Africa, that's where we're booking our next holiday.